And I remember he is one of the reasons why I'm alive. I should have gone long back from this world. I was only hours that the doctors had told that I will survive. He and one auntie, Rosavanti, they together did the work. They didn't give up. And that is why I am alive. So he is one reason why I am alive today. And he went, and there were doctors, Rajendra Prasad and Dr. Adams. All of them worked and did all the surgeries, which stretched from weeks, which went into months, which went into years, and now into decades. The Lord has been so good to us, helping us to be as a family here and be here at this time when he went through these tough times. I was telling the other day, probably he picked me up from the roadside so that I can serve him during these days. Maybe that's why he did that, so that I can look after him in the last moments of his life. And my family, my wife, Vinny has been so dedicated, probably because of she should be there in the family. That is why he did that at that time. And we were able to go through those tough times and come through it at this time. And we remember how, as we were just hearing, Dr. S. Joseph has been a great support. And also that family also has been a great support. And we know that he has been also part of that, the seminary students. Dr. G. Samuel was his classmate. He's a pastor of the Baptist Church, Hyderabad. And they were all gathering together. And once, even G. Samuel asked him, Samuel, how's your support? From where do you get the money for your family? Do you get a salary? We get salaries. What about you? He said, Samuel, don't come and tell me how I'm going to live the next month. He told like this. We were all hearing. We were small children then. G. Samuel, I want to tell you one thing. Don't come at the beginning of the month and tell me how other this month is going to be. I don't have any permanent support from anyone. You come at the end of the month. I will tell you from where I received the support. No one promised anything. And yet the Lord helped us to survive in this city. 36 years without a house, rented building. He used to conduct so many housewarming ceremonies. We used to come home and say, Daddy, you don't have a house. That's okay. It's in the Lord's time that he will give. But then I was telling the other day, we could construct a house like this. Never can we imagine about it, looking at our support, looking at our way of getting the money. But the Lord gave us this. No one can ever even imagine, how such a person could, never does he write to anyone, not even to his own brothers. His brother, when he had come to the railway station in Kerala, had come and told my mom, see, Samuel does not write to anyone. All these years when he was in the Bible college, we told him, but he never writes his needs. So that is his character. So you take the interest. If you have any need, you just write to us. We will immediately send the money. But that was the commitment that they had as a family, never to ask anyone. And that way, the Lord sustained them. His faithfulness has been so great. It has been new every morning. And the Lord has sustained us in spite of all the troubles that we had. And we also had Kumar and Pushpa in our home. And the children, all of them taking so much care for us. And especially Daddy. During these last days, Kumar was the one who did so much. We remember even Rajan also earlier, who's been a great help to us. And he's also come all the way from Tirupur just to be at this time. And we were able to have the help during these days through some of the nurses also. Arya, Neetu, and many others. They just came this morning. They were here seated. And they helped Daddy. They used to call him Apacha. How are you, Apacha? Every morning they used to come and ask him in the hospital. And every time they used to come and visit even Daddy very often. And we considered it as a great privilege. And we could have a blessed family, a mother and father. And now Mommy is going to stay with us and continue to be with us. And also sisters, they're also with us. And also Minnie, great blessing to us, great blessing to me. And Susanna, Jeremy, Jamima, and all the other cousins. We are also privileged to be together. And also blessed assembly that we have. Though I told some bitter, terrible, tearful memories from the past, but still the Lord has given us a great hope for the future with the present assembly that we are associating with. And we are so happy that all the believers have been supportive and encouraging us, helping us to keep going forward, never to turn back. We should have probably left this place long back. That is what it almost came to many times. But then the Lord has been faithfully sustained us, helped us to remain here. And he never once spoke about going back to Kerala. He wanted to give us life here in this very land. And that has come out as a reality. And we also, in the next generation, we commit ourselves to continue the ministry and continue to uphold us in your prayers. And we are also weak vessels, and pray that the Lord would sustain us and continue to continue the legacy and the ministry that the Lord's servant has laid over here. And we thank you all for patiently sitting and hearing, and we thank all of you for coming together. I want to give the word of thanks and say especially our thanks to the evangelist K.V. Matthew for having come and ministered the word to us, and also evangelist Dr. Emmanuel Damara for having ministered to us, and all the others who have been even sharing your testimonies one by one. We really so encouraged through your association that you had with the Lord's servant. Thank you for being with us. Continue to uphold us in your prayers, and may the Lord's name be glorified.